There are some things no child should have to hear, but when their parents are forced to bring them to court, kids can be left traumatized.
Now there's a new service to help make sure kids can be kids and stay out of the adult business of domestic violence. Here's a look at the new Child Drop-In Center in Summit County's court system.
It's been 50 years.
We heard everything. We couldn't see it, but we could hear it.
But Joanne still remembers.
My parents were going through a pretty awful divorce, and we had to come down to the courthouse.
At every hearing, she and her little brother would sit on a bench outside the courtroom and wait.
We could hear everything that was going on in the courtroom.
They heard that their father didn't want to see them. They heard the tortured cries of their baby sister as she took a blood test.
She was just a few weeks old, and we could hear her screaming.
All while Joanne played the role of a protective big sister.
My little brother was sitting next to me crying, and I would hang on to him.
For decades, the trauma of those moments on the courtroom bench was buried until now.
I didn't realize that it bothered me as much as I did until I made the phone call to donate.
Joanne picked up the phone when she learned about a program that would make sure no child would have to endure what she did.
We want them to be able to overcome the barriers that they have.
Administrative Judge Katrina Cook from the Summit County Domestic Relations Court says there's now a dedicated space for parents to drop off their children when they come to court. It was made possible through a partnership with the Summit Court Victim Assistance Program.
What this is all about is increasing access, right? Not just access to justice, but access to safety and access to hope.
The Children's Drop-In Center at the courthouse is on the same floor as a domestic violence courtroom and the Victim Assistance Program Domestic Violence Intake Center.
You have a place that your children are going to be safe and they're going to be watched and cared for while you are doing what you have to do at court.
The Drop-In Center will be staffed with a specialist from the Victim Assistance Program.
To bring your children, to know they're going to be met by advocates or children who witness violence specialists who are trauma-informed, culturally humble. They know how to provide age-appropriate, activities with children and really provide that safe space and that comfort.
The new service aims to break the cycle of generational trauma, and that's why Joanne picked up the phone.
It's huge. It is absolutely huge, knowing that there are people now that care about what children have to go through.
And that center officially opens September 1st, and they could use some help making sure it's stocked with the things that keep kids engaged while their parents are in court.
They have an Amazon wish list where people can make donations to help out. We, of course, have a link in this story on the News 5 app.